Well, can you give me some idea when it's going to let up? I mean, 8 hours from now? 24 hours? 40 days?
I hate the rain. You go anyplace? Can't do anything. Outside, I mean. Can't play ball. Can't go for a bike ride.
There's an article here. Some guy claims that the weather conditions are controlled by the Rockefeller family. So they can bring about one world government. Ever see Rocky with an umbrella? You don't need one. It don't rain on him. Who? Rockefeller. It don't rain on him.
Stop it. Just stop it. It's on your nerves after a while, doesn't it?
Oh, man. Why are all the bigwigs in that big glass building with the radiant heating while we who do the work, we gotta work in a sieve?
What's more, you better get some more pans. Because according to the Weather Bureau, it's not going to let up until tomorrow afternoon at the earliest.
If this keeps up all night, I may kill somebody before morning.
I got a call. I'm up here in a flash. So what's all this about leaks?
Got eyes?
They're from the roof.
Do you think you'll be able to do anything about it, Mr. Beckman?
I'll have to go up on the roof and take a look.
Well, we would appreciate that.
You know, it was a bad building, Captain. It was a big scandal when it was finished in '32. They put sand in the cement, water in the plaster, used rotten wood for the frames. Everybody went to jail.
Ironic, isn't it?
Well, there ain't all right. Gets on the roof and then leaks on through the ceiling.
You know what I like about you, Beckman? You got grasp.
It's my pleasure, Captain.
Rain.
Roll, please, Detective Sergeant Amengual speaking.
Oh, lousy weather. You should see the subway.
There's one thing, though. Good rain always washes all that garbage and dirt off the street.
Yeah, right into the subway.
Barney, that was Mr. Gardino, owner of the Shea Ho Ho nightclub. Says some guy started a fight over there and they busting up his place.
I'll take a run over there.
Okay.
Harris, go with Chenna.
Hey, why me, Captain? I just got out of the rain.
It's like getting out of the ocean and then going right back in. You know, the shock isn't as great.
Hey, but I just ate. Don't I have to wait an hour?
Come on, Harris. Your idiocy is lost on the captain.
No, man, wow. That's all you gonna wear?
Yeah, man, I don't like all that heavy stuff. See that, man? What I like is to get wet on the outside, not on the inside.
How did they know?
Another one, huh? Beckman's up on the roof trying to see what he can do about these leaks.
Remind me to change these pants before I go home.
Uncomfortable, huh?
No, Bernice gets turned on by the smell of wet corduroy.
You should see it. There's 6 inches of water up there, Captain. The buildings on either side are draining onto your roof.
The Rockefellers again.
They're gonna have to pump that water off. We can't do it until the rain stops.
And until you can, we're gonna get more leaks, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Into each life some rain must fall.
Not necessarily. Well, Gleason.
You can get a hernia doing this.
I can get a hernia from doing just about anything. Well, Gleason, Sergeant Fish. No, ma'am, I don't think the Hudson will overflow its banks. Would you leave a nice soft bed to flow through a cold, dirty city like New York?
More coffee?
Coming up, Barney.
You gonna use that water?
It's rainwater. The best kind there is. Some people wash their hair in it.
This just comes through the ceiling, that moldy, termite-infested ceiling.
That filters out the impurities.
Okay, Mr. Ace. You better come over this way.
I could have done easy stuff. Wife jokes. Spoofs on commercials. I wanted to do something fresh, innovative. What happened? Silence. Followed by physical abuse.
Barney, this is,
Jackie Ace. You heard of me?
Why, you got a record?
Mr. Ace is a comedian. He was doing his monologue at the nightclub, and apparently it wasn't going over too well.
Pearls before swine.
Regardless, Mr. Ace began insulting the audience.
What insults? I did stuff like, well, I see I'll have to speed up, folks. I know some of your tractors are double parked.
Mr. Ace left the stage and went out into the audience, and apparently, as the result of a comment he made concerning the ankles of a man's wife, a fight ensued and turned out to be pretty much of a free-for-all.
Mr. Gardino, the owner of the club, is holding Mr. Ace personally responsible for the damage and is coming down to press charges.
Just like Lenny Bruce. You try to do topical material, they crucify you.
Being held on disorderly conduct, Mr. Ace, not social criticism.
Mr. Ace, would you have a seat over here, please?
What is this? You gonna have a dance later on?
Boy, is this depressing. Makes me homesick.
Why don't you write him a letter?
I used to do that. I don't do it anymore. I like to save all my news for when I get home at Christmas. Last year, if I hadn't got sick on a train, we wouldn't have had nothing to talk about. That's depressing.
Yeah, now that you mention it.
Crummy Philistines. I do a beautiful routine. I mean, it's current, it's thought-provoking. I do bicentennial impressions. Vignettes of our nation's founding. Huh? Classy, right?
Yeah. Okay, date of birth?
October 12th, 1924. Hey, get a load of this, dig. John Hancock signing the Declaration of Independence. Wait a minute, do I get to read this first?
Address?
You didn't think that was funny?
Mr. Ace, we got a lot of work to do. Otherwise, I would be laughing. Historically. Pretty good, huh?
For a non-pro, yeah.
Wow, it's still raining.
Yeah, depressing, ain't it?
It's not as depressing as this coffee.
What's the matter with it? I just made it.
Tastes like a roof.
You want good coffee? Get married.
It's tasting better.
I'm at the 12th precinct. No, it's not a nightclub. I'm under arrest. Well, come down and get me out of here, will you? You're my agent. You're responsible for me. And hurry up. You know I'm allergic to persecution. Look, if you guys are going to beat me, will you let me take off my tux?
Come on, Mr. Ace. We're just going to put you in a cell until bail is provided. Step this way, please.
Boy, was I doing great tonight. But you should have seen that audience. They sat there and stared at me like I was a freak.
This way.
Wait a minute. Look, listen. Benedict Arnold to Nathan Hale. Hang in there, kid.
This way, Mr. Ace.
Molly Pitcher at the Battle of Monmouth. Everybody got water? How about some napkins and silverware?
In here, Mr. Ace. The clubs, huh?
One more.
Sure.
Betsy Ross to George Washington. I don't know how to sew teeth.
Don't we have any crime?
You just missed it.
Mr. Beckman, how are we doing with the roof?
I got some good news, and then I got some bad news.
I could have done good news, bad news jokes. I just wanted to elevate.
Could you possibly consolidate them into one piece of lackluster news?
I just been up on the roof again. There's over 5 feet of water there now. I'm no engineer, but my personal opinion is that that roof can't support all of that water.
Nick, call emergency services.
Are you telling us that that roof could collapse on top of us?
That's crazy.
Water is a lot heavier than it looks like when it's in a glass.
Hey, Pat, hey, now, dig this. Paul Revere to Benjamin Franklin. There's a crack in the Liberty Bell. I told you we should have got a horn.
This is Captain Miller of the 12th Precinct. Look, we've got a very old building here, and I've just been informed we've got 5 feet of water on the roof. It appears... Well, don't you think that's going to create an unnatural stress? I mean... You certain?